NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Throwing on first down is Lance. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now Lance going to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you...
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Finding room to the 20, and he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Lance, a give now to Sermon. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Sermon, his 9th season. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. They're back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to... And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Maurice Hurst coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Operating from the gun, Brown. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
2nd and 9. From the gun, he'll hand this off. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. You know, following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my effort.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Shaquille Barrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Here now Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now it's Lockett. Now a hit and a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On 2nd down, it's Sermon. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Here's Sermon. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Second down and goal. Lance. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Interested to see what they dial up here. Third and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Shotgun now for Lance. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Back to Mixon on second down. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. '49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for third down. Looking to throw. Brown. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Mixon with a first down carry. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Brown. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Now a handoff, Sermon, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the draw is Sermon. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Lance now to throw. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. It could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after. That forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll run on 1st down. Mixon. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here's Brown on 1st and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Brown. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Mixon again. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Joe Mixon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is down to a field goal. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. From the 27, Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 42 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Partner, in our years together, we've never really run into a player that's admitted a doubt or a lack of confidence, right? But right now, I'm just wondering about that interior line because on defense, they're starting to get manhandled at the point of attack. Do they have it in them to figure a way to reverse the tide? Because right now, they're running the ball at will.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Sly on for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7.
Makes the score Niners 17, Seahawks 7.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
But no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the play fake. Brown. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Brown. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 23. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Working from the gun, Lance. Flush to his right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're down on the scoreboard, sort of a sloppy first half. And Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a little fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up. Make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half, too many turnovers. Tighten things up. Maybe get in their face a little bit, get in their grill, and then send them back out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Brown. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he's brought down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Mixon running right. Shedding the tackle. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And just a yard to go here on second down. Once again, they run with Mixon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Bad news, they didn't get it on second down. The good news is they still only need about 3 or 4 inches here on 3rd.
And the good play callers have looked at both situations. They thought to themselves, okay, this call, I pick up the first down, already ready with that call. If I don't, this is what I'm going to come back with in order to pick it up.
Brown now from the gun on 3rd down. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Now a play fake here on first down. This is caught. It's Boyd. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
Mixon. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Good job there defensively to push them back on first down. I'm not sure if this is 4-down territory or not because they can kick the field goal and get it back within a score, but you know that's not what they're thinking right now. A field goal has to be their last option.
Brown looking to throw on second down. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Looking to throw. Brown. This is caught. Touchdown. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is down to a field goal.
17. Seahawks 14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second down, another shot for Sermon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 26. But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 56 yards rushing forward in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they'll run the toss here with Sermon. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
On the handoff, Sermon. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Trey Sermon, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Brown looking downfield for Godwin. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Meanwhile, Lance's throw taken in by Samuel. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Now it's Sermon, and not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Here's Lance. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 42. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches.
Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Boyd, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point up and through by Myers. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, B, let's go.
Throwing now is Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. That's caught at the 25. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for the Niners.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. This is Sermon. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right. Even. 4 down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They run. Here's Sermon. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 80 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Sermon. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Lance now on 3rd and goal. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Niners 31, Seahawks 21.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Looking to throw. Brown. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. On 1st down, Mixon. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun, Brown. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Godwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Myers connects on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
And he stopped immediately there. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Here's Lance to throw it. Oh, what a catch by Samuel. Touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely four-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Brown. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Niners, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals.